I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here. Somebody go find me. Somebody go find me.
I don't hear nothing. It sounds like a baby crying. A baby? I'll go. Well, my daddy did say he want all the babies thrown in the water. Is it drowning or what is it in? Princess. Yes. We should go check it out. Go get that. I always wanted a baby anyway. Go get the baby.
They know they got no sense.
Not the mama. Not the mama.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You keep talking my daddy what you did anyway. But I'll be your mama. Do you want to be a little Egyptian baby? This is so cool. I always wanted a baby though. 7 girl, I can't feed this baby. Find me a Hebrew mama or something to feed this baby because I cannot mess up my shape with peanut breastfeeding. Now I do it. I have me a baby. That is so cool.
Later.
Mama, they want a Hebrew woman to feed the baby. Go feed the baby, Mama.
And later. That was a hug. That was a hug. A hug.
I'm gonna get this some food in a minute, baby.
Okay. Okay, hug.
Yes, it will be a to be continued.
Morning.
So
Yes.
you find out what happened next when the mama found her baby.
Yes.
They so
These True
stupid.
Hollywood Bible stories, y'all. It's all in the Word of God. I promise you. Pick up the book. You'll learn. You'll grow. You'll understand. You'll become your best self just by reading the Word of God.
That was a
Real?
good baby.
You
I felt
are
good.
a
But when you
baby.
said you want to be a Egyptian baby or something.
Lord, they ghetto. Whew. Good morning. Who's on here this morning with me to share my big news? Good morning. Who's on here? Yvette? Yep, I knew it. I knew it. Good morning, Yvette. Good morning, Paula. Who else gonna be on here? Good morning, Shelly. Let me see. No, Dorian. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Okay, let me make the announcement, and I'll tell it again as more people come on. I got a scholarship with LIFT. Yes, I did. They gave me a scholarship, y'all. Let me tell you how I got it. Remember about a year ago, I don't know if y'all remember this, but I was taking this course, well, this free training with Google Fiber, so I could learn how to install cable. But you know, that never worked out because I never even pursued a job knowing how to install cable. I just took it because it was free and wanted to get my foot in the door with Google. But I'll probably still be applying with Google. But anyway, so last year there was a program where through Udacity, and Udacity is basically an online training program that teaches various different career skills that was started by some billionaire. And so anyway, so they established a program of these driverless cars. Now, you know, Lyft and Uber, they've been trying to talk about this driverless car thing for the last couple years. But however, there was a company that was been talking about driverless cars for at least 10 years. And they're working with Mercedes-Benz and a lot of big companies. So anyway, so they had offered this training program, particularly for advanced engineers, software engineers, and anyone who had advanced skill in engineering, to train this new technology in about the driverless car industry. And So if you had the background in programming, computer science, engineering, they had this program they started last year. And these people, they have not yet graduated the first upcoming class. But anyway, but they're about to graduate pretty soon. But already, these people are already in line to be hired through BMW and all these big companies. And some people already got jobs. They already got offers. And they're working on these driverless cars. And they're actually looking for people who's willing to learn the skill in engineering, programming about these driverless cars. So, they opened it up to people who had non-technical skills, and basically, you know, in regards to diversity, llfyt had offered scholarships to pay for anyone, basically disadvantaged, minority, women, LGBTQ, people who really didn't have the opportunity to get into the field. And because there's a wide demand, a need in diversity in getting people to learn about the technology in the driverless car industry, they had offered a scholarship so they could bring more people on that may not have an opportunity to ever enter the field. So I came across the program on Udacity, and they were offering a scholarship because it was very kind of pricey and I couldn't afford it. I said, I can't afford this. I said, I'm already in student loan debt as it is. So I took a chance a couple weeks ago and I applied for the scholarship. And I got notified yesterday through email. All right, people, learn how to drive. So I got notified yesterday that out of the thousands of scholarships that they were giving, I was one of those who was chosen to get the scholarship to begin the beginning program course in the driverless car program. And it's 5 months, it's online, tuition paid for 100%, and I have to commit to at least 15 hours a week in study for 5 months to learn and get this degree. Well, it's not really, it's really a diploma in the driverless cars engineering program for it's entry level. It's not the advanced program, but I have to start out at the entry level. But I said, you know what, I don't care. I know I didn't have the background in engineering or computer science, so I got the scholarship through llfyt, and I will be learning about that driverless cars degree, and it's 5 months. And so far, the very first group of people who were in the advanced course, they already hired Mercedes and I can't think of whatever the big companies that's in play doing these driverless cars. And I ain't talking about Lyft and Uber, because, you know, of course they are backed up by well-established companies. Because see, Lyft is still, you know, Lyft and Uber, you know, it's a technology company, but they're not the ones who's really going to be building these cars. It's going to be Mercedes, BMW, Chrysler. There's some other companies that I haven't even heard of that's in the game of building these driverless cars. Now, I know a lot of people were skeptical about, oh no, that ain't gonna happen. But you know what? I'm telling y'all, it's more than what we know of, than what's, ooh, Lord Jesus, look at him. And I'm telling you, it is a demand and a need for people to learn these skills and get the training to work in that industry. Robotics and programming, and it's a whole slew of opportunities, and I'm gonna take advantage of it. I don't care if I'm 65 years old and I may be I'll be 50 next year, but shoot, to enter into a new industry and learn, and there's opportunities, and I got a scholarship too, I am so happy. And the classes start October the 2nd. So I'll be going online with I don't know how many people will be in the class, but it'll be people probably most likely all over the world. But I put it straight out there in my application too. They said, why do you think you deserve this scholarship? And why do you think you need it? I told them, I said, one, as a black woman over 40, I wanted to reinvent myself, and I wanted to get into an industry that I didn't ever have an opportunity to pursue. You know, I grew up in what is it? I guess I'm the 80s baby. In the 90s, you know, I was already in my mid-20s. And by the time technology came about, all these different technology came about and stuff, I was already well into my, 40s. You know, I didn't have, yes, I could have probably majored in the sciences, the math, things like that. But let me tell you, with technology, you always have to keep up with your new skills. Even if I did have a degree in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, is constantly learning. And thing about it, you also have to think about the disparity of race in those type of industry. You know, I'm not gonna really see too many women, black women in that field. You know, yeah, you'll see Indian women, Asian, white women probably, but you don't hardly ever hear of women, black women, in those type of fields. It's like rare, you know. And then for this new type of technology with these driverless cars and all the engineering behind it and all the opportunities, not just building the cars, but programming, writing, all of those things. It's new. And that's not anything offered in any type of university, college. You know, yeah, you could learn the applied sciences and math and programming, but this new technology that was developed by this billionaire who really started Udacity and started this program was that they wanted to teach and train people in this industry. So when he offered that, he worked along, came along with Lyft to sponsor the scholarship. I jumped at it. I said, I'm going to apply. And like I said to myself, why not? I said, I'm a black woman over 40, and I wanted to show an example that women over 40 can also become engineers. You know? Now, it may be late in life that I may start, learning that type of skill, but there's nothing wrong with learning. I love to learn. I'm always constantly learning now. I'm learning how to code, even though, there are so many boot camps and schools, but I got no $50,000, $30,000, $40,000 to give. And then a lot of these schools, they want you to, we want you to take a test. What kind of background do you have? And then they kind of shun and close the doors for opportunities for black people in general in the field. And if they want you to go to that, boot camp in computers, not computers, but programming or whatever the case may be, they always want to steer you towards that lower end of the technology spectrum. They want to maybe you can learn maybe you can go learn web design, or it'd be one of those low-end programming. One of those low-end jobs in technology that is really not needed, And then they're like, well, you go ahead and you could take a class and maybe be a web designer. There's so many softwares out there that you could design your own website yourself. You don't even need to know how to code. And then they just want to take your money and suggest that type of program. But then when you inquire about the other programs, they're like, well, you don't have the experience. And if somebody had experience, why the hell would I go to, General Assembly or some of these other private schools that don't even, it's not like you're getting a degree, but they want to charge $30,000, $40,000 for something that lasts for 12 weeks, and then you may not always, I'm not going to say you don't always guarantee to get a job, because you do. Now look at this. What the hell they building over here? Boy, I'm driving right through downtown Decatur right before I get on 78. And I don't know what the hell was over in that big empty lot, but they just tearing down stuff all over the place, building up these $300,000-$400,000 condos and exclusive stores. And then look at all these little raggedy stores around here, mostly owned by Indians. They're gonna push them out of the neighborhood for real. They're gonna start buying up all this land, all these little stores or whatever. I don't know why they open up a nasty J.R. Crickets again over there. See, they're gonna be, I don't know. It's ridiculous. That's all right though. It's built up in DeKalb County, so that shows some progress with the county, but it's still in a different district. But they're gonna push all these little black and Indian and poor people out of this dang area. Watch and see. Watch and see. They're already gonna build a Whole Food over there and all these little high-end stores. As long as they don't touch my DeKalb Farmers Market, I will be fine. Well, put it this way, they could improve DeKalb Farmers Market. They was talking about expanding it, but I haven't seen that happen yet. But as long as the DeKalb Farmers Market is still there, I don't care. But anyways, back to my news. So this scholarship was offered by LIF, and I think they had offered like 300 scholarships. And the course and the program, it had cost about several $1,000s. It wasn't cheap, I know that. So I'm looking forward to it. And people who had took the advanced program, because this is the entry-level program, because it had focused more on those who don't have the background as in software engineering. So I'll be learning the entry-level program in software engineering. So it just gets my foot in the door. That's all I know. That's what I'm looking forward to. Networking and you know, just meeting other people within the companies and learning about the new driverless cars, and being, I know I'm gonna be the very few I'm gonna be, not too many black folks ain't gonna be in that class. It may be a lot of maybe black men, but there ain't gonna be too many women, black women, I'm telling you. But I don't care. I do not care. Shoot. The way how these companies are now, and they trying to focus on diversity, and they need to show more different sort of people within the company. I don't care what. If I gotta be the minority in the program, I could just do my best. Do my best. I'll read your comments later. Let me see what y'all talking about. Oh, I can't see. I can't read it. It's so small. But let me tell y'all about what happened at Amazon today. Okay. They had the big boss, not Bezos, not the CEO of Amazon, but one of the higher ups. I guess they must have came from Seattle, and they came to observe the facility, took pictures, you know, the whole 9 yards. Now let me tell you what this genius thing they wanted to do. Now I remember I tell y'all how the whole logistics works. I'm not giving away no trade secrets, but basically it's like zones in different areas, like A, B, C, D, EFG, whatever. And of course, most of you who do Amazon Flex, y'all come into the warehouse, and y'all are designated an area in the warehouse where you're supposed to pick up your bags, load your car up, and go about your business. And it's all broken up into different zip. I guess y'all go to areas based on the zip code, and it's all supposed to be grouped up in the same area. But anyway, so when the packages come down the belt, everyone is assigned to a certain lane. Now my lane that I usually go to is in the C section, and I'm always in lane 17 and 18. It goes from 17A, B, C, and then it goes all the way down to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. And it's like 3 shelves in one section. So as you have to match up the box into the bags, you scan it on, you have a scanner on your hand, you scan the box, and then you going back and forth, putting them in the bags, closing the bags out electronically, and then you have like all these hundreds and hundreds of bags, that people are supposed to pick up. Well, not hundreds, thousands of bags that drivers picks up once we sort them. Now, normally when it comes off the belt, the manager or the ambassador, they will put them on the shelf, and then you just simply get it from the shelf, and then they can stack it up, and then you just get all the boxes, and then you just sort them, and then you put them in the bags, and you going back and forth. So they said they didn't want people to be designated in certain lanes. They didn't want people just lined up. They want you to just pick and go, meaning they eliminated all the shelves. They didn't want no shelves. They didn't want no boxes to be put on the shelf. They wanted you to basically pick it from the belt, and wherever it is that comes down that belt, you just have to pick it and go. So, for instance, I was usually assigned to go and stay in the same general vicinity, which is 1718. But if the box I'm back, y'all. You know where I'm at. Chick-fil-A. I need to go to the grocery store today. That is one thing I gotta do. Today is my day off. Thank God. They don't put nothing in these things. Containers. I'm heading west. Get that dang sun out of my face and out of my eyes. There ain't nothing you can do when the sun is directly at you. Ain't no amount of sunglasses you can wear or a sun visor that can block that sun when it's directly in front of you. I remember one time I was thinking about a solution for that. That I don't know why cars don't have automatic shade where it would just dim the glass automatically and you can still drive to prevent all that sunlight coming on directly from directly in your face. Because regardless of these little things, it don't do nothing. sunglasses ain't gonna do much for anything either. Oh, Lord. Yeah, my feet is not hurting me as much anymore. But let me tell you what the stupid thing I did was that I didn't put any socks on. So that little insert from Dr. Scholl's that was in my sneaker was just bothering me all night. And I know that's bad because you get friction in the bottom of your foot. And cause blisters. So I know next time. And then my sneakers, boy, I want my old pair of sneakers. Boy, those sneakers are worn out. The bottom of the sole is like almost like worn out. And I don't like those sketches. I really don't. I do not like those sketches. So, for FYI, if you got a wider foot, don't buy Skechers. Skechers is not that good. And it's certainly not something that you would wear like if you were walking for any length of time. It ain't a good shoe like for that. This may be a good casual, you know, what they doing over here? And why they got the mat? Who left the mat outside of the... Who got their car mats all up in the road? And not just one car mat. I seen 3 car mats all over the road. Like somebody just threw it out the window on purpose. Boy, I swear, it's always something. This is water. Even though I still got some sweet tea. But I drank my water first. Yeah, today, let me see. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna rest. I'll probably end up waking up around 2 o'clock, maybe. And then, let me see what I'm gonna do today. I need to do my Grubhub block. I need to go to the grocery store. Buy my, groceries. Oh gosh, jeez. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. Hey, Lynn. How you doing? So, Lynn. Who else is on here? I can't see it again. Oh, God. Why I got cough first? I'm sneezing. Now I'm coughing. So Lynn, I know you didn't hear the earlier announcement, but I got a scholarship through LIF. I got a scholarship from LIF to take a course which is oh goodness. All of a sudden I start coughing. I'm like, good grief. And sneezing. So anyway, for those who didn't hear the announcement earlier, I applied for a scholarship. I applied through this program, which is the Udacity University, and one of the programs was sponsored through LIF to offer a scholarship to take a course in the driverless cars. And then it stemmed from the advanced course, where it was mainly people who had a background in engineering and computer science. And there's a company or billionaire, I can't remember his name. He had for 10 years they've been developing driverless cars. Now, it's not new just because Lyft and Uber was talking about it. It's actually been in the works with the big companies like BMW and Chrysler and some of the other big companies. And they are doing and developing the driverless cars. And because of that, there's a need for people to enter the field and learn it. So this billionaire investor who had invested billions of dollars in driverless cars industry through a lot of major corporations are now teaching people how to develop into these driverless car industry. And these people who started the program a year ago, they're about to graduate, and a lot of them already got offered jobs through BMW in the driverless cars programs. And they actually need people to learn about developing and making of these driverless cars. One of the things they had noticed was that it was not as diverse in the field. So they offered this entry-level program for those who didn't have a background in engineering, computer science, and things of that nature. And they're training people because it's like a $1 billion industry, but there's a shortages of people that's learning these new skills. And because there's a need of people to enter this field, they're offering the scholarships to try to attract more minority women, other underprivileged groups who may not have who could not necessarily get their foot in the door in these type of careers, because diversity is a big thing and especially in Silicon Valley and the IT field. So Lyft, being the company that it is, had said, okay, well, we'll offer and pay 300 scholarships. We'll offer 300 scholarships to those who may not necessarily have a chance to go into the field and learn a skill, and we'll offer a scholarship. And I applied a couple weeks ago, and I found out yesterday that I got accepted into the program. So next week, October the 2nd, that's when it starts, and it's about 5 months. And I have to devote 15 hours a week, at least 15 hours a week in the program. And from that, the people who were in the advanced course, a lot of them got hired with BMW and a host of other companies, Google. It's a whole lot of companies that's in the game of this automated driverless cars. And once you have that skill set, they had hired a lot of people. And this is not something you could learn at a university or college, because a lot of university colleges has not yet developed that type of skill set or technology in the driverless cars. Now, yes, I know Georgia Tech most likely will have something to that degree, but they don't really, they have more of an applied science, but it's still kind of new. So this was a great opportunity to get into the field, learn the skill set. You know, I'm going to be learning programming. I'm going to learn how to code. I'm going to be learning engineering and a host of other things. I'll let y'all know as every week goes by how it's going with my studies. But it ain't a fluke, that's for sure. It's not a fluke. It's not, it's for real. And when I looked into it last year, I didn't even know. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And yeah, go to udacity.com, and if anyone knows a young person who's not necessarily, motivated per se to go to college, but I think that this is a great opportunity to for a young person to get into that industry and automated cars, robotics. I like looking at things like that. I seen a program, it was on the Discovery Channel, and it actually is competition of robots. They built people, what's the name of that show? They built these teams of people all over the country from different colleges, universities, mainly universities and colleges, and they built these robots and they compete against each other fighting. And I mean, it's a big thing. And they have, shows that's devoted to robotics. And, even though you think that, okay, what are they doing? But it's a lot. That's something so amazing that this generation, I won't even say millennials, but the ones like my little nieces and nephews and little cousins, can you imagine what kind of opportunities that they're going to face, that they're going to get to see in the next 20 years? I'll be what? I'll be in my 70s. God bless my soul. I know my mother would probably, well, no, because my mother's only 19 years older than me. But like my grandmother and all previous, all past generations, that things that they don't have an opportunity to experience and see. But yet, if you have young kids, whether they be your niece, nephew, cousins, that in the next 20 years, they're gonna live in a whole different world. I know a lot of people on YouTube were talking about, ain't nobody gonna get in no automated cars that drive by itself. They ain't gonna do that, naysayers. But they already got cars that does that. They got that Ford and the Chrysler and a couple of cars that it'll park itself. Now, Shelly, are you on here? No, you ain't on here. I only got one person on here. When she was trying to park in that tight spot. Now, you could get a car that would do it for you. There's things in Japan that's like 5-10 years advanced in the United States that they're doing that will be amazing to us. So I think that for me to be chosen in that program, I think it's great because I'll be 49 in a couple of months. And I always said to myself, is it too late for me to become an engineer? Is it too late for me to be a, software engineer? Is it too late for me to totally go into a whole new different field and career in technology? And I always used to say, well, no, I'm too old to be, I'm not really old, but I'm so late in life to do that. And I always said, well, dang, I should have did it 20 years ago. I should have gone into a science field of some sort in computers. But then, but all those skill sets would have probably been obsolete. All of it probably would have been obsolete. It probably would have had no value. Now, it might have get my foot in the door if I had, started out in computer, something really in technology of some sort. And then I have to always constantly keep learning. That's one thing I know for sure. My aunt's in the field. My aunt, she's almost 60. And is like the chief operating technology person for the state of South Carolina. Her major was in math. She went to South Carolina State, Storygood Black College, and trust me, you will hear about it or know about it, about her alumni. Ooh. And she worked at USC, University of South Carolina, South Carolina State, and I can't really tell you, I can't really tell you what she is, really. I can't even tell you what her title is, or what, what her background is. I mean, she always had a thing with math, but she always had the knowledge as a math, she's like mathematician, I guess you could say, in the math. But with that skill set, she's able to, I remember when I went to South Carolina, and a lot of the students were Indian, Asian, and they were doing, what were they, the older programming language back in the day. And she also has patents that has been sold to Google. And a lot of things that's done at Google and those big corporations, it's done by people like my aunt, who actually wrote the program or did the technology of some sort. But, you know, of course, it's sold to Google. But you'll never really have you never get a chance as to who's actually came up with the concepts came up with the concepts or the programming and wrote the algorithms of those things. So that's what my aunt basically does in a sense. But, you know, she's 60 something, and I'm quite sure, and all her throughout the years, that sometimes you have to learn it as it comes to be developed. You know, like Facebook. You know, who would think? Now, I have some queries about Facebook because Zuckerberg, I think he stole it. I think he never wrote anything or thought about anything with Facebook. And matter of fact, Facebook, but that's not even new. Y'all remember Black Planet